Good morning or well, it's still good morning. So it's Red Friday. It's been about a couple months, but hey, I just want to be able to chime in with everybody and just say it's great to be back. And more or less, I just want to be able to share with everyone as the opportunity comes arise is that took a little break for a moment to be able to concentrate on some personal and professional issues. But today we're going to be able to talk about a few things. The book up there where it says "There's a Few Bad Men," and the biggest thing that I want to be able to share with you is the opportunity to review and embrace and collaborate with everyone since it's been a while. And I think a lot has happened in the last 6 or 7 months. So I just want to be able to share that with you and see if anybody wants to personally engage. And then for the most part, so we're going to talk about a few bad men. So my buddy Fred Galvin, who's the storyteller. Hey, what's up, David? Storyteller of this book of the few bad men. It's a real life story that's happened about almost 15 years ago, and this happened in Afghanistan. Special operations unit that was pretty much tried for war crimes, and they were pretty much blacklisted. The Marine Corps ate their own, and pretty much Fred Galvin has been, more or less swallowing that pill for a long time. Finally made this book a reality. But the biggest thing that I want to be able to share with you is that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So we have from a few bad men, there's a caveat to that in the Mossack 3. So this trial has been going on for the last over 3 years, pushing forward. And the biggest thing that I want to be able to share with you is we have 3 special operators. And these operators I know very well. And they've been going back and forth in Camp Lejeune with this trials, general court martial, then when convenient authority, then a UCI motion. So with that and Steve Scheller's, situation that he had to put out with quite a few books, a book and quite a few podcasts, just want to be able to touch on quite a few things of what is it that we're not doing as a society to be able to help our military veterans. So I spent some time with one of the operators about 2 weeks ago, and I met his family. And I tell you, man, it's more or less a humbling feeling knowing that you can support the organization and these guys that are going through the same thing. The other thing I want to be able to share with you is that you all notice that I've been applying for jobs for a reason, right? And I'm not going to discuss that, but I'm going to share something, my personal experience on LinkedIn, just to let you know. And my personal experience on LinkedIn is pretty much this, right? I've applied. I've had recruiters reach out to me. You're a great fit. You have great organizational skills. You have great leadership skills. And then when we come to reach to the hiring manager to be able to view you, we get ghost. So this is a reality that's really going on LinkedIn. That's my own personal experience. Going to update the resume as well. But the reason why I'm sharing that is because a lot of people probably are not alone in that personal experience itself. I myself have tested the market. I myself have been to quite a few interviews. And what really blows my mind that I want to share this with you is that in these job interviews, some of these hiring authorities are veterans themselves. So you would figure that a veteran be looking out for another veteran. That's not the case. That's happened quite a few times during my nature of my interviews. And I wanted to share that with you as well, because you think it's easy, but it's not. So I can understand the people's frustration, and I can understand that more or less there's some form of social media discrimination, age discrimination as well. When you constantly get your the emails, oh, thank you for your applying for ABC company. We really appreciate your experience, but we're getting more aligned with people within our candidates that would have a job fit. So I'll leave that with you. That's been the repetitive response that I've been getting. So you have to have thick skin, right? And thick skin it is. The other thing just want to be able to share with you is that we're not doing a lot of things for the veteran community, and I'm starting to see that. And then as I share with that, I've had quite a few friends that I know that were pretty much unfortunate, and they were homeless and everything else. And I just want to be able to share some insights that I had to help them out because I couldn't see them being without a place of shelter. With the veterans that have PTSD, there's a, there I had the Stella, the SGB, Stella Gallion blockage treatment back in January, and I'm going up for it again. And I'm going up for it again for a simple reason. I'm going up for it because during my professional work environment, certain things happened that triggered that situation. So lucky for me that the VA in Long Beach has been able to sponsor that and have that treatment for people like myself. So I'm going to have another treatment to be able to share that with you as well, of how this treatment is so profound and how important it is for veterans to be able to go and see mental health professionals and get a clinical intake on what is it that if you could be a fit as far as getting this treatment. This treatment is pretty much expensive outside of the VA, and there's very few VAs that now have it. And if you have some form of PTSD, depression, anxiety, things like that, I strongly suggest I recommend you to go and see your medical health care provider, go to mental health, see if they do an intake for you, and more or less to see how things would fit and see if you qualify to be a candidate. Myself, they're going to be using that as data for the next, as long as I'm around, I was told, to be able to see how much of a progression I'd be able to do as pretty much to see how the treatment helps other people like myself and other veterans. Now, I'm just talking about the VA. This treatment is not specifically for veterans. It's specifically for everyone, but it really targets the veterans and the first responders and law enforcement people. Those are individuals that pretty much have a traumatic event. But the biggest thing I want to be able to share with you is a couple of things, as I stated in the beginning of the show, is pretty much a few bad men. A few bad men. Now, I'm not going to give too much because it's going to evolve in itself. It's going to be something that you're going to want to read and eventually watch. Just listen to what I have to say. I suggest you get this book. It's on Amazon. The author of the book, there's a writer, but the author of the storyteller is Fred Galvin. Fred Galvin is a good friend of mine. Retired major in special operations for 22 years. Currently works for Tesla. And then we're having a book signing over there in Oceanside as well with Scott Hustings and Amy Foster. They have great books, and they're going to be able to have a book signing event for all these type of veterans. So if you're interested, look up Scott Hustings, Amy Forsyth, and Fred Galvin. They're on my network, and they're pretty much going to be doing a collaborative book signing. Now, with the other person that's been the mentor of everything else is Shauna Springer, and we've been collaborating. She's been traveling a lot, but she wrote that book of The Warrior, and it's been pretty much. She opened my eyes to quite a few things and was able to sponsor me as far as getting the first treatment of the SGB shot for PTSD and depression. So I can honestly tell you, I want to thank Shauna Springer, Dr. Shauna Springer, to be exact, who has her own podcast, has a book, The Warrior. It's in Amazon as well. So I just want to be able to share that with you so people can understand that there's a lot of people that are out there reaching out for everybody to help people. But the biggest thing that I want to share with you is you got to be able to reach out and collaborate with individuals that can actually appreciate and see things for what it is. We've been caught up with social media for quite some time, especially over 3 years of the pandemic. So with a lot of things that are coming in, the dynamics and everything else is stating, I really recommend that we start engaging in quite a few things and bringing up some collaboration from professionals as well. All you professionals that are on here on LinkedIn, I want to personally thank you for reaching out to me. collaborating, supporting, liking quite a few posts that I put out there for the meantime. But I want to be able to reach out to you to be able to understand that, hey, there's more to it than that. So I want to personally thank LinkedIn for allowing me to do this LinkedIn Live, and then I created a YouTube channel, which is LinkedIn Perspective. If you like it, hit the like button, subscribe it. There's plenty of videos right there. I'm going to be doing this pretty much. And the other thing is, I got a friend of mine, John. He has a patent for Army Strong and American Strong. So American Strong is a pretty much a nonprofit organization. It looks like a yellow band, but he's going to be able to help and sponsor this program as well. And with John, we collaborated just a little while ago, and we're looking to help certain nonprofits to give back, because what's the sense of having a patent, or what's the sense of having a show if we can't identify nonprofit organizations or special veteran support groups or first responders or people like that? And hold on, I'm just reading this. How can we collaborate becoming substantial for the social sector? You know what? That's a great question. We have to start off by doing this show, And George, I appreciate. Thank you for all your posts. But Vasha, the first step is establishing and re-engaging with the public. Okay, that's how you start the collaboration. As for myself, as a facilitator for this show, I'm doing it on my own recourse. And as I stated, American Strong is going to be sponsoring the show for a little bit. And that's going to be one of the people that's going to be able to sponsor it, because we can collaborate and reach out to other individuals and see what good that we can bring into it. The same thing is advocating for veterans' rights, and especially the book up there, as you see, A Few Bad Men. And A Few Bad Men is going to be a bestseller here pretty soon. Not only you want to read it, but eventually, after you read the book, you might have the opportunity to see it. And I say see it in a way where it's going to give you some kind of concept of what's going on within our ranks, especially in the Marine Corps and things like that. As far as the individuals for the MOSOC 3, we're continuing to fight with them and fight with them and support them. They the case was dismissed with prejudice, and then it was appealed, and then they did a double jeopardy. Now they're going to be up for another court after it was dismissed with prejudice. So go figure that, after so many appeals, so many dismissals, and, not enough evidence and everything else, somewhere in a dark place, the Marine Corps finds its way to be able to prove a point that they have the upper hand. Now, as a Marine myself, I love the Marine Corps. I'm always going to be a Marine. But when you listen to what's going on, or pay attention or read what's going on with the MOSOC 3, and when you read the book, The Few Bad Men, of what happened to the guys in MOSOC 7 in Afghanistan, it will tell you a clear picture of what's going on. And especially since, Stu Scheller, who, retired and was asked to leave from the Marine Corps, and he was a lieutenant colonel. He has his book as well. And this, this year, August, will make it a year that we were betrayed by withdrawing from Afghanistan after spending 20 years of fighting terrorism as well. That's the biggest thing that I want to be able to share with you. It's great to collaborate with everyone. I think that it's pretty much that, let me see if I welcome nonprofits like us are trying to do something for our disabled soldiers and families that are killed in action, or holding it from LinkedIn, like-minded people. Well, Vasha, that's what we're doing. As far as to your point, that's why I do this show. Excuse me, my nose is itchy, so I'm not a professional broadcaster. So the reason why I do this show is to reach out and bring awareness for everybody else. And then to understand that how important it is for people to not just look at the news, but look at other people that bring some significant value to what they're saying, instead of creating an ongoing rhetoric of what they're not making sense just because it's about themselves. this program is for you. And as I stated before, the program, as well as the broadcast podcast, is for people like yourself to be able to review and critique and give some constructive or personal opinions of what I'm sharing, and it allows people to voice their opinion without being in a cancel culture. And also, I want to personally thank LinkedIn for giving me the opportunity for the last year and a half to be able to have this broadcast podcast. It started off at LinkedIn, and then we're moving on to Facebook and to YouTube. So if you like this segment of LinkedIn Perspective, hit the like button, look up for LinkedIn Perspective, subscribe it, and pretty much apply for it and share the contents. We're always looking for different opportunities as well. If you see the audience back there, my two little dogs who are paying attention, those are my stage hands and everything else. But from that point, we want to be able to continue. The biggest thing that I also want to say is that here in California, the gas prices have dropped down from an all-time high to $10 a gallon to about $4.83 a gallon. So that's great. And hold on a second. In your opinion, is there justification and concern about the Marine Corps leadership in today's Marine Corps? Kevin, there's no justification. You know what I can say about that leadership, Kevin? We have a new breed of that. The old type of leader, we're changing with the times. Our Marine Corps leadership has gotten soft, Kevin. And I'm saying this wholeheartedly as an active duty Marine for 14 years, as a drill instructor for 3.5 years, right? As a platoon sergeant for 10 years. I can see the difference. And I apologize, but I'm going to answer Kevin's question. I was in Camp Pendleton doing the Marine Recon Challenge this past summer, and I saw things differently. That was more or less like a college fraternity kind of thing. And, there's still some branding as far as the Marine Corps leadership is concerned. The nuts and bolts are there, but I don't think it's to the point where traditionally it stands for hundreds of years of that as well. So for me, I just want to be able to share with you, Kevin, that in my opinion, the concern of the Marine Corps leadership, especially with the recruiting that's going down significantly, not only in the Marine Corps, but all branches, that should tell you something, that our leadership really sucks. And then with all due respect, General Berger, who's the commandant of the Marine Corps, who served together with Major James Capers as well, and was a commanding officer at the Special Operations and the Recon community. I respect your rank. I respect your time and duty, but I don't respect the type of collaboration that you're changing the Marine Corps, or you're pursuing to change the Marine Corps into a corporate America, more or less social club, and it's more or less driven as a federal government. And I don't appreciate that, but then that's just me. I'm probably one of many that can actually voice our opinion. The leadership issues may be diluted, but the focus can work mutually from resettlement of those soldiers and widows, who especially the lowest rank. And I agree with you, Fasha. That's the biggest thing. That's why we need to be able to reach out and collaborate and bring things into perspective to be able to educate people. Because let me share something here. The only time people pay attention to the veterans is like Veterans Day, the Marine Corps birthday, Memorial Day, some kind of holiday. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. No, I don't think so. All right. We have Gold Star families, from the Marine Recon Foundation, Force Recon Foundation, Team Recon Sniper Foundation, and the Marine Raider Foundation and Challenge, that do extraordinary things for the Gold Star families. And I've been a part of that, and doesn't equate to the general public. Thank you for your service. And I can honestly tell you, the lowest ranks, they always suffer, but there are resources and people that can actually work with individuals if the individuals are open to it in some form of mentoring, like myself, I continue to find some kind of mentoring on a daily basis, which is considered personal growth. And for us, we have to be constantly be mindful that if you're not developing yourself on a daily basis, you're dying. And if you're an advocate for veterans' rights, don't be conveniently an advocate when the holidays are there. That's a 24/7 gig, and it's pretty much more or less, an ungrateful task, because a lot of people don't see that until, well, not, I won't say a lot of people won't say it, but people don't understand the significant work that's put into it as well. And we're working with 5,000 soldiers' widows in India, extreme fee facilities. Very good. And widows and U.S. Marines, especially lowest rank. Well, thank you, Fasha. That's pretty good. I'm glad that over there in India, things are working out. And I'm glad that people in India can be open to that as well. And that's why I'm just reaching out and collaborating. It's been about 8 months since I've been on the show, but this is my first time. So I just want to be able to chime in with everybody. And if you have any questions as far as what I'm sharing with, my phone number is on there. It's 562-286-3111. That's 562-286-3111. If you like this content, share it, like it, tag it, subscribe to LinkedIn Perspective. It's also going to be sponsored by American Strong, my friend John, who is the founder of American Strong, that has quite a few patents, and we're going to be working with other nonprofit organizations to be able to collaborate and see what we can do, because in today's society, with the cost of living at the rate of inflation at 9.9%, and the housing market that has frozen in the last 2 months, but the interest rates have gone up 1 or 2 points, 3 to 4 to 5. I think it's time for people to understand that you save your money, save your cash. Cash is king. Don't buy anything that you need to, and then don't make a bad business decision based on emotion. I had a guy in UPS that his wife wanted to get a house. The house was overpriced, over $1 million. He's paying for it. The mortgage rate's over $3,000 something a month. So pretty much think about that. That's not including the interest rate. But then again, as I stated, that's one of the conversations that we're having right now for a lot of individuals to understand that. And pretty much, we can, I'll put that for you, sir. Thank you. No, I'll get that for you, Fasha. I'll put that in the chat later on. But the biggest thing, as I stated, I'm getting myself reacquainted back to being on the air, able to engage and collaborate, saying that the podcast broadcast is still alive. And the biggest thing that I wanted to be able to share with you is that being an advocate for veterans and veterans' rights is very important, especially now when we're coming back into school. Things are coming back into full circle. And then what's happening is the holidays, and we're having, situations with homelessness, unemployment, suicide, and depression, and things of that nature. So things don't stop, but we need everybody we're all in this together, especially now with what's going on. And with all due respect to the administration, I'm disappointed. I can say that it's freedom of speech. It's my professional and personal opinion, and I'm not creating any form of anarchy as well. So again, I want to personally thank everybody. The biggest thing that I wanted to say was look at the corner of my left-hand side or your right-hand side, and get that book, A Few Bad Men, with author. The speaker of the book was Fred Galvin, and so it's an Amazon. It's going to be a bestseller. It's already ranked up there, and it's going to tell you a lot about what's going on in the Marine Corps. It's going to tell you. It's going to walk you through the process of how that book is going to give you an oversight of what's going on in today's military. Just because it's the Marine Corps, that's just one segment. It's happening in all branches. Trust me. We have ring knockers, we have narcissism, we have nepotism, and we have minionism. We have quite a few of that, especially in the federal service. And I can generalize that without pointing anybody else out, and not committing professional suicide as well. And I think that for us, we need to understand that There's an upside to learn how to deal with that. But if you don't know how to deal with it, just reach out to me. I'll be able to help you guide through that process. That was one of my challenges as well. And sometimes those type of challenges test you of how strong you can endure in situations like that, that you could be subjected to those type of situations, and even hostile work environment. And what's up, Victor? I know you mean all branches of the service: Air Force, Space Force, Navy, Army, and Marines. Yeah, Victor, pretty much all branches of the service. They all have it. So I just want to answer your question. I didn't want to be rude and disregard that, you know. But as I stated, you know, there's cancel culture. There's challenges everywhere you work. Trust me, there is. It's how you handle it, how you process it, and how you embrace it that's going to make you stronger, and that's going to make you or break you, because there are a lot of professional cowards out there that only enforces the 2 inches of power within their work environment. After that, it's zero. And zero, you're welcome, Victor. And it's zero like that. If you're having challenges like that, I want you to reach out to me. I can help you, guide you as well. It's one of those processes that never changes. It's up to you to be able to withstand that. And yeah, we face all adversity in our own government. Correct, Victor. Especially working in the federal government. I know. You know, some people that think that, to your point, Victor, if you're aware of how the federal government, there's a pecking call, and there's, you know, we have that GS, ranking system. Just because you're a high ranking GS level individual doesn't mean that you're a leader. That's just a title. You can't lead, you know. If you haven't led people, and if you haven't failed forward in learning how to deal with people, you're not a leader. You're just a micromanager, and you're just a delegator. You know, people like to deal with paper. Paper doesn't talk back. When you're dealing with people, you're gonna be exposing yourself to all types of criticisms and all types of observations as well. So get ready. If you don't have thick skin of being a leader, don't use your title. That means you hide by your title because that's all you have. We are all human. We bleed the same red, and we die the same. We're dead. That's it. So we come in this world same way we left, butt naked and alone. But at the same time, if you want to be able to give back and help people like myself or others that don't have a voice or are having challenges like that, reach out. I think with social media at this point is a good tool to be able to collaborate for quite a bit, you know. And I think that for us, we should be able to understand that networking is not just posting and liking people's posts, but actually collaborating, seeing they're like-minded, seeing if they can actually do something, or you can actually develop a relationship that could be a long-lasting relationship that's considered priceless. But some people don't have time. They overpromise and underdeliver. And I'll say that about the recruiters. Recruiters are fine when you get excited. And I'll share this with you. As I'm applying for jobs, I used to get excited because recruiters would look for me. But I'll tell you this much. It's the hiring manager that's going to make a decision whether you're going to be a fit or not. You can have all the accolades, or you can have the leaderships like I had. I had one. My job interview was like 50 minutes. We laughed, we giggled, and everything else. Everything was pretty much, like business casual. But at the end of the day, right, when I explained to them this, and I think that's probably a cardinal sin, because you want to be, sometimes being too transparent and too forthright and too honest can kill you in a job interview. I've learned that. So less is more for mine. But I'll share this with you. I stated to the hiring managers, it says, are you looking for somebody with technology and technical skills, which is very important, with certificates, or are you looking for individuals that have a significant amount of leadership and work experience that can collaborate and still learn those technical skills, because any job or career is very duplicatable, for the exception of the medical field and the dental field and some other fields that are very hard. Trust me, there are. But overall, I'm using this as an analogy because as going on for logistics and operations and fleet management. And, I think what scares the hiring management is when you put out non-negotiables, and they didn't understand what non-negotiables is. And I said, well, this is my example of an interview. After the STAR process, situation, task, action, and result, I gave them they asked me if you had any other questions. I said, sure. I asked them, so how do you see this 3 months from now if a person like myself would be hired? And the last question to that two-part question would be, what are your non-negotiables? And they raise their eyebrows and they say, what are their non-negotiables? So everybody has non-negotiables when you're in the work environment. Not everybody's your friend, and then not everybody's going to appease you. And I can honestly tell you that when I said non-negotiables, I said, well, integrity, pretty much. When people got, honesty, integrity, things like that. So for a lot of people, they don't understand that. Let me read your question, Victor. Good recruiters, advisors, and candidates who are in the meetings and giving candidates, hiring managers, specifics about why they should be, why each should meet. Correct. I've been a recruiter and an owner for 40 years. Then we need to talk, Victor. We need to talk. You've been doing this since the war for 40 years in the 80s. We talk, but I'm sure you're listening to what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I'm testing the market. I've been getting goose eggs all day, which, after a while, you build a tolerance for it. But I'm just sharing that from my perspective, because I don't think I'm any special or a bag of chips. And an interview goes both ways. You're being interviewed, but you must interview your host to ensure the company is cultural fit for you. Correct, Kevin? That's correct. And that's what I've done. And that's why a lot of people can't understand that when I do that, when I flip them and I do the interview process and I give them the situation, it catches them off guard, because 9 times out of 10, when I've had the interview and this type of setting, the way I am speaking right now, not in an aggressive manner, but very matter of fact, because I would say to them, not only to you, Kevin, but to Victor, are you looking for an individual that has good work ethic, a good employee, and that can able to be loyal, to be able to make sure that all the stakeholders are protected, right? Versus what they like. So I can tell you there's some soft skills that need to be brushed up, especially for me. But I figured this way: you can't go wrong for being honest. You can't go wrong for being honest, and you can't go wrong for sticking with what you believe, because at the end of the day, you get hired, as Kevin and Victor stated in the chat, you're going to be married to these individuals for at least 8 to 10 hours a day. And in those 8 to 10 hours of the day, you're going to learn something about yourself, and you're going to learn something about your new work climate and your new coworkers and the individual stakeholders as well. So that's a risk you need to take. But the biggest thing I wanted to share with you is that those are action items that always need to be addressed. And then you see a lot of YouTube videos as far as how to interview. Yeah, I understand. I look them up as well. But at the end of the day, you're doing you, right? You don't leave nothing on the table. And if you're going to be honest, you might as well kill them with kindness and kill them with honesty right off the bat. And what's that? Anytime, I'm open whenever you need it. All right, I'll send you an email. Cool. You got my telephone number up there. It's on the screen. I'll read it out to you. 562-286-3111. That is 562-286-3111. And for you people that are senior citizens that are looking for changing direction in the job market, I highly suggest you test it and do it as well. Don't let the age stop you from what you're doing, because you still have a livelihood to provide, not only for yourself, but the family as well. We are designed to be able to build and collaborate, and we have a financial need to be able to sustain a significant lifestyle that would be, tailored to your needs. But you need to be financially responsible, but personally responsible for yourself. And that's why personal growth and failing forward is two things that you need to understand as well. So with that being said, get that book that I just put out there. As far as Few Bad Men, my buddy Fred Galvin, right? My other buddy Scott Hustings, who's got The Echo of Ramadi. He's got it on Amazon. Amy Forsyth, she's got the book, The Warrior Within. And I got Sean Springer, who's got the book, more or less The Warrior. And to my buddy Steve, who sent me these glasses, and this is what I'm saying, At Ease glasses and At Ease therapeutic glasses. By the way, I am 75. Well, you look great, Victor, for 75. Shoot, I'm going to have to take some of your freaking love medicine. So At Ease glasses, right? These are therapeutic sunglasses. Glasses, not sunglasses, but pretty much they're therapeutic. And they're designed to narrow down and focus on what you're doing right now. So what happens if you have ADD or HCHD or PTSD, these glasses will help you zone in on them. And what I'll do is they pretty much look like sunglasses, right? They're nice, but they're not designed to drive in them. They're not designed for that. They're there to be able to, you can go outside, but I wouldn't hike with them. I wouldn't drive with them. I wouldn't ride a motorcycle with them. Pretty much that's what it is. It comes in a beautiful case right here, which is At Ease right here. At Ease right there. And then it has almost like the Oakley's cleaning up, At Ease. It's on Amazon, and Steve is on there as well. Look up for At Ease. And I'm getting old because I can't see what the hell is going on. Call my daughter. Maybe she'll listen to you. It's about personal responsibility. Send her my number, Randy. I'll talk to her. Shoot. Ain't no shame in my game. I think that we all need to be able to reach out. We're all in this together, ladies and gentlemen. I think that for us, if you have, let me put it to you this way. We're all going to die. All right? It's how you die is the biggest thing that's going to change. Are you waiting for that death sentence to be checking out? Or like I would always say, I'd rather fight on my feet than die on my knees at the mercy of somebody else. So with that being said, simplify, always beside you. What's up, Kevin? I enjoy your content and insight, appreciation. You're doing what you're doing for the veteran community. And back and forth, and check your book out. Simplify. Yeah, Kevin, check out the book, brother. This won't be the last podcast broadcast. I used to do it a lot. But, I want people to have, I want them leaving more, right? You want to leave them more, leaving it more with significant content, something that, is pretty much like, hey, that was a good discussion or that was good content. And then if you have any suggestions, put it in the chat. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it for a number of reasons. And it's important that we ever share that. I'm not going to stop everybody. As I stated, I want to thank LinkedIn for giving me the opportunity, giving us the opportunity, because American Strong is going to sponsor this as well, to be able to use this platform. This platform is pretty much collaborate with Facebook and YouTube, all right? And I just want to be able to personally thank you and the Trust and Safety Committee, Trust and Credibility Committee, for making sure, because they're always watching this as well. And for everybody else, Story Man, what's up? Thank you. And, subscribe, man. If you want something that's very intangible, nothing's off the table. accept anything that's what's up, James? Nothing's off the table except bad mouthing the government. You could do it in a professional manner, like I agree to disagree, which I'm doing right now. But don't just come out there and start saying negative stuff because you're going to get yourself kicked off. I don't want to get kicked off as well. That's why I make sure I facilitate everything and make sure that people understand what's going on. We're all one big family on social media. I like to have that kind of content as well, and that kind of vibe to give you to be able to share that and express your feelings without going overboard, right? But as far as networking on LinkedIn and Facebook, and especially on YouTube, just need to reach out. So I want to thank LinkedIn for that and their support for the last 20 years. But to my buddies out there in the Marine Recon Foundation, I want to thank them. We did an outstanding job for the Recon Challenge this past summer. And the other thing is to my buddy Fred Galvin, who's been instrumental in this book. And it's going to be a bestseller as well. And it's going to be something that people are going to want to watch. And to my buddies at the Mossack 3, my buddies, my brothers out there in the East Coast in Camp Lejeune, and my Raiders, we're there to support you. My good buddy of mine, Josh Negron. We're like brothers, man. That's why I'm doing this. So if you like this content, share it, like it, tag it. Victor, you have my number. You can text me at 562-286-3111. I'll send you an email. Randy, if you want me to talk to your daughter, you got my number, brother. You can DM me, all right? Simplify, always beside you. Enjoy your Friday. Remember, Red Friday. Remember, everyone's still deployed. Simplify. Have a great day.